How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of mystery beer, courtesy of my boy Gray. Yeah, let's see what this beer has to hold. Okay, well, that's dark. First things first. Label-wise, a little bit of napkin, a little bit of tape. Now, dark beer, this bottle, Sierra Nevada, Lagunitas, Founders. Typical culprits. You don't see this bottle shape a ton, especially by new school breweries. Always could be wrong. We'll see what's what. Beer-wise, yeah, it's a gigantic, huge stout. That's what it is. So, yeah, it was thick as thick could be. It has that nice, rich, what I like my coffee look like colored head. Infinite creaminess. Let's get a nose. There's like a maple, not maple. What is that? It's a sweet, it's fudge. There's fudge. This is liquid fudge. There is a sweet component to it that it's probably going a little bit. It's mapley, but it's kind of brown sugar maple fudge. There's like a fudge. There's a brownie in this fucker. That's what's going on here. Yeah, it's got to be. And there's a sweetness, I think, coming from. So there's some kind of like extra chocolate added to this. There's probably a little bit of vanilla, if not a little bit of vanilla from a barrel, from a spirit barrel, and an added sweet component. So it's a stout with some kind of. It's not just maple though. It's got this kind of sweetness to it that I think comes from also like a barrel, like a little bit of bourbon kind of characteristic to it, but it's not like a bourbon barrel aged beer. It just has that kind of sweetness that you would get from a bourbon barrel, and just all the fudge are below us. Like there's so much fudgy goodness in here. It smells pretty awesome. I'm just gonna dive in. Okay, that's way less sweet than I thought it was gonna be. It's a sweet beer. Let me rewind that a little bit. It has a bigger bittering note than I thought it would, because it's still a sweet beer. It's still a sweet beer, but it doesn't come off as that overt sweet because there's a big bittering component to it, which actually helps balance out the beer a lot. Man, that bittering component is very, very big, and I dig it. It's almost like the kind of bittering you get on like a Russian Imperial Stout. That's that level. There's a sweetness to it that maple's there. I think there's a soft bourbon barrel aging going on as far as spirit goes. As far as oak tannins go, I think that's pretty big on this beer. It could be a combination of that bitterness and the oak tannins are kind of amplifying that oakiness. Because it's a bourbon barrel aged maple beer. Brownie, listen. So, Gray sent me off a little 16-ounce growler of CBS. So I immediately want to kind of go into Founders territory because he sent me a Founders beer. This looks like a Founders bottle, and I'm not going to go away from that. I'm going to lean into it extra heavy and say this is that. I don't know the name of the beer. It's like their maple fudge fantastical. It's like a red label. I've seen it. I don't buy it. I don't fuck with Founders on my channel anymore, but mystery beers are mystery beers. Nothing you can do about that. So I think it's that maple fudge beer from Founders is basically what it is. So it's basically take your KBS, but then fudgeify it. And it's whatever the hell that beer is. Maple. Is it called Maple Fudgelicious? Or something along those lines. And it's not that bad of a beer. Like I said, I don't mess with Founders much, but I've seen people kind of talk about it, and I've seen people kind of rip all over it. And I've seen people say, oh my God, this is so delicious. I don't mind it because it gives you this big kind of brownie fudge kind of thing on the nose, which is really, really fun. It follows through in the taste. But there is this decent bittering to it that it doesn't get too, like, confectionery pastry-like. And I dig that. I like that added twist. Add those kind of oak tannins in there from the barrel aging that even dries it out a little bit more. This isn't a bad beer by any stretch. Mouthfeel is fantastic. Sweet where it needs to be. Bittering where it needs to be. Definitely needs to be. And it's a tasty beer. So what if I'm wrong? It's a bourbon barrel aged adjunct stout with some kind of extra chocolate in it. Maple syrup coming in at whatever, 13%. But it's got to be that beer. It's got to be. Let's see. Maple Maniac Fudge. So there you go. That's the beer I was talking about. I actually didn't know what the actual name was. It's an Imperial Stout with Maniac Fudge coffee, maple syrup, and chocolate aged in oak bourbon barrels. This is 11%. So it's a big beefy beer, and it's not that old. It's only about a month and a half old. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't really mess with Founders all that much because of the whole thing they had with the employee with the racial kind of, now I was going to say connotation, straight up racism in it. And Founders has gone as far as to do some things that did a Black is Beautiful beer. They've done some dumb things since then and put their foot in their mouth at things that kind of like, okay, you're obviously not learning, but then they try, but when they try, it kind of comes off as like a forced kind of, let's get a little bit of cred back kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not going to like be anti-Founders my whole life. If they show true contrition and some kind of growth internally, then I will fuck with their beers. Again, even I just removed all their beers from my channel. Mystery beers, that'll stay because mystery beers just are not kind of promoting the brewery by any form or fashion, because it's not like you search for KBS Maple Maniac Fudge. If you look for that, it's not going to show up, so I don't mind having it on the channel, let's put it that way. And plus someone goes out of their way to send me a beer, wrap it up, all that kind of fun stuff. You know, I'll leave it on there. And this is not a tasty beer. It's nice. It gives you that huge fudge on the nose, follows through in the actual taste. Not nearly as big, but you get that fun kind of bittering on here. I like the bittering on this beer. I don't know if it's barrel char in combination with hops. I think it's a combination of the two, but I think it's much appreciated, especially when you're already taking a sweet on sweet beer, your KBS. That can lean heavily oak tannin, so you do have that dryness coming with it, but then you add that kind of fudge component, that chocolate fudgy component on it. All the bittering, or the addition of the bittering is very much appreciative. So it's very fun mystery beer. Gray, very fun. It had to be this beer. I mean, you know, if you didn't send me to CBS, I might not have jumped all over Founders on this one. It's just that you sent me that, and I was like, okay. I'm like, you know, it's kind of that shape of the bottle, but, you know, it could have been Lagunitas. It could have been, you know, Sierra Nevada, something like that. But I don't think they get all weird and fudgy and shit like that. And I don't know who would do something like this in a bottle shape like this. If it was a taller, different shaped bottle, if it was a different shaped bottle, it wouldn't be Founders. But if it was a different shaped bottle or a can or something like that, then it's like, who the fuck is doing this? So it kind of whittles down the thing. So I look like I nailed it. And I did nail it. But there's a little bit of kind of deductive reasoning a la Sherlock Holmes in that sucker. So it was very fun nonetheless. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our mystery beer. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as late? Actually, yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No, but I've had some pretty disappointing barrel-aged beers lately, so this does not suck. Let's put it that way. Value and availability. I mean, what is this? Probably like $15 a 4-pack. Pretty much get it wherever you want. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like that series, the KBS series, CBS, all that kind of stuff, and you want a little bit more fudge in your life, you will like this. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Mystery beers. If you like them, you can always send them off. Shoot me an email, massivebeers@gmail.com or matt@massivebeers.com. They all go to the same place. Let's see what's what. Actually, I say that all the time. They all go to the same place. They don't. They go to two completely different mailboxes, but I check them both. But I don't check my massivebeers.com sometimes for a while. Like, I haven't checked it in a month, so I got to go in there and see if somebody sent me an email. Let's see. I started using that email just so I could use Google. What's the fucking Google? The video conferencing and shit like that. Anyway. Massive Beers, if you want to see me doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing, hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Founders right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.